Hey entrepreneurs, welcome back. We are into week 9 where we're focusing again on brainstorming and narrowing and creating a storyboard. This is building on part 2 of the class, working towards your final project. So this should be review. You've already learned how to do a good job brainstorming, narrow down your long list of ideas, and then create a storyboard from it. You learned a lot the first go round with this process, so we're just fine-tuning that process on your different problem that you're using in part 2 of the course, the same one that you used last week. What you need this week are these slides and the video. It's a great idea if you want to reference the D4D method cards in the playbook. I'll show you where those are in Brightspace, and the specific pages that you want are noted here. And you're going to need some materials for your storyboard as well. Most of us are probably going to be hand drawing a storyboard, which is fine. If you have the capabilities with an app on maybe your computer or an iPad or something like that, feel free to use electronic drawing tools, but again, you don't have to. I think most of us probably don't have access to that type of stuff. There's no points for quality drawings, but the important thing is that I need to be able to read what you're writing. So if your handwriting is not the greatest, you might want to type the text for your storyboard, and then you can draw the rest. Just make sure I can read it. Good quality photo if you're using the photo approach, or type out if your handwriting is not necessarily the greatest. You also have the 8th and final chapter for the Ice House, and then your assignment, which will be in a discussion form. So let's get started, and I'll walk you through some of the things that you need for this week. Before we dive into the design thinking process, I think it's helpful to revisit one particular concept from the Ice House that you read about last week, and that is the idea of social influence and peer pressure. And a lot of you have already analyzed the idea that peer pressure can be both positive and negative. We tend to have learned about peer pressure from a negative perspective, but it really can be positive as well when you surround yourself with good people. And I want you to think about that from the perspective of your goals in life and the people that you regularly engage with, whether that's your family, your friends, maybe your classmates, people in your life. Do those people embody the characteristics that will help and support you as you work toward achieving your goals, or might they hinder that? You could extend that even further to think about a business partner. For those of you interested in getting into the world of entrepreneurship, we often need other people in our network to help us achieve our business and entrepreneurial goals. What sort of characteristics and traits will you look for in a business partner that you'll be interacting with every day? So think about these things. There's a lot of power in surrounding yourself with the right kind of people, and think about that as you move forward, working toward achieving your goals. One more reminder, please be using that journal template in the final project tab for all of the homework assignments, including this one. All you're doing is adding more and more and more to that template, and I can just skim through and find the bit that I'm looking for when it comes to grading. At the end of the semester, you'll have the template done, and that's a key component of your final project. So please be using that template. Many of you are, but some of you still aren't, and I think it'll be helpful for you if you can use that. So think back on your interviews. What did you learn from those customers? What surprised you? What did the customer care about? And the empathy building process is not a one and done type experience. It's ongoing. Are there other ways that you can get better understandings of your customers? More people you can interview, different types of people that you can interview that experience the problem in different ways, or other questions that you can ask. You created a customer problem statement using this template here, and I want to highlight that last statement, which makes me feel. As we create these solutions, what we are offering or selling to our customers is a sense of ease, a sense of peace. We want to help them feel better. People will make purchase decisions on how they feel, and we see that a lot in maybe the marketing or advertising experiences that we're exposed to. A lot of advertisements focus on feelings, and that's important as you come up with solutions. You want to solve a customer's problem to help them feel better. Just a quick refresher. We've been through the brainstorm, narrowing, and storyboard process before. I want to hit on a couple of the key points to help you this week. First, in your brainstorming, if you are a visual person, try to be visual. Feel free to draw out small little drawings and images if that helps get your creative juices flowing. So be visual to the extent that that works for you. You want to go for volume. I'm looking for at least 10 brainstorming ideas. If you don't get to at least 10, you won't get full credit. That's because we're going to brainstorm for 4 or 5 minutes. That's ample time to get a bunch of ideas, at least 10. Ideally, you can get even more than that. So again, go for at least 10 ideas in your brainstorming list. And think wild. As you're brainstorming, you're not evaluating those ideas and weeding out what's good or what's bad. You're just coming up with a thought that might be able to solve this problem, and you're writing it down. Wild and crazy ideas at this stage in the process are very useful, so it's okay to have things that are a bit out of left field and maybe not practical or feasible. So when you brainstorm, set a timer. You want to go for about 5 minutes, and if you like the Post-it idea, you have access to that. You can do one idea per Post-it, put them up on the wall. You can just make a list. But again, 10 or more ideas, think wild, crazy ideas are just fine. Remember, what you're looking for in your brainstorming is something new, something unique that hasn't been done before. This is an innovation class, so we're not looking for the easy, obvious answers that other people use to solve this problem. If that were going to work for your customer, they would have done it already. So we need to find something new and something unique. When you get stuck, and you will get stuck because that 5 minutes will take a long time, ask yourself some of these questions. Have this slide handy. What if you had $1 million or unlimited money to spend? What would a 5-year-old do? What could you start trying right now today? So here's a bunch of prompt questions to help you think about your problem in different ways. And then embrace that slump. As you start brainstorming, you'll get a lot of ideas really quickly, and then they'll fade away as that timer passes. Here in that second batch of ideas, that's typically where some really good concepts come from. So as the ideas start to slow down, don't just fizzle out and say you're done. Keep thinking. Keep going till that full 5 minutes, and I bet you'll come up with some excellent additional ideas. Let's revisit the narrowing strategies. One of the helpful things you can do first is to group your ideas by similarities. You might find a few that are very similar, so go ahead and group them. If you're brainstorming with others, and that's a great idea to do that, enlist the help of family, friends, roommates, teammates, classmates. Find some friends to help you brainstorm. The 100 points method is useful when you're brainstorming with other people. So everybody gets 100 points to allocate, and they rank their ideas. The favorite idea gets the most points, on down through their least favorite idea, and then the idea with the most points is the one you try first. If you're brainstorming alone, the 2x2 method is useful. There's a lot of info in the D4D resources on the 2x2 method. You also probably saw this back in week 4 when we introduced narrowing, so I won't spend too much time on this right now, but this is a good one if you're narrowing and brainstorming solo. And here's where you'll find a great idea to try first for prototyping. It's got to have an ability to solve that important customer problem that you can solve well, and it has some sort of competitive advantage. It's different, it's unique. For your storyboarding, you're looking for at least 6 frames. The first one is experiencing the customer experiencing the problem. Then I really need you to include how the solution works. So frame 2 is how the customer finds your solution, but frames 3, 4, and 5 are details on how it works. A lot of that was skipped over in the first round of storyboarding. It was just a customer experiencing a problem, the customer having the new solution, and then life is better. What I need to see in your storyboards is how this solution actually works, as you see here in this template. So follow this template. You could have, up to 8 frames in your storyboard if you need it, but I think 6 is adequate. And there is another example for you in Brightspace on how to do the storyboarding. So this is it, guys. You've got Chapter 8 for the Ice House. Ignore where it says voice thread. It's actually a discussion. And your brainstorming, narrowing, and storyboarding. Again, try to submit that in a way that is readable for me. And it's a discussion post, so you're going to submit this for your classmates to see. Be sure to make at least 2 comments on your classmates' posts. I think that's it. You know I'm here to help. Reach out if I can support you in any way, and have a wonderful week.